when did you join the military?
I joined the Army in 1982, enlisted right out of high school.
No doubt.
I'm
And
dating myself. Been in a while. Been in a while.
And you actually went enlisted first.
I did.
And then how long did you do that before going?
I did it for 2 years. It was actually my platoon sergeant that, took me down and told me to take the test and, said I might want to, go to West Point was actually what he took me down there for. So anyway, forever thankful for him. Sergeant Cortez, who did that, drove me down there. So
Have you talked to him since?
it's been a while. So I'm in touch with. Last night it was neat. The Sec Army had a bunch of his old teammates that were here that he deployed to. So through the years, you keep in touch with a lot of those guys. So a lot of the folks that I've been deployed with back and forth to Iraq and Afghanistan, probably a lot closer to that. To that group, just because of what some of the shared hardships and everything.
It's got to be a point of pride for him, being like, called it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean,
You kind of made it to a decent position in the military.
Did okay.
You did okay. Now,
I think this guy might have a future.
Did you ever see in your career getting to the level you are now? Was that always the mission? Or
No, I think I always talk about it. I think a lot of people, you're in for a couple years, you're walking all night with your rucksack on and you say, hey, I'm going to get out, after this. I think everybody has been through that.
I think I've
done that countless times where I've said, hey, I'm going to get out. And then usually just comes back to, you get cleaned up and hang out with your teammates, and it's kept me in. So it's just been the people I've been around that's kept me in all these years.
You have so many people speak so highly of you. Romache, he was one of your soldiers during that
Squad
entire
leader.
thing. And he speaks so highly of
Yeah.
you. He was like, tell Jorge I said hi. He loves
Yeah.
calling you Jorge.
Yeah. I was just talking, we were just up at West Point getting ready to talk, all the 1,000 cadets who were getting ready to commission, and I use him as an example. That guy is an absolute professional, was a war fighter, trained his people, and what he went through over there. And I told everybody, hey, and you're a lieutenant, you were going to have NCOs like that, and you were going to have to up your game to be ready for that kind of NCO leadership that's out there in our Army.
That is wild. Now we're celebrating the Army 250.
Yep.
And this has been in the works for, 250 years, but actually doing a celebration's been a year in the planning, right?
Yeah. We talked about it. We talked about it with you guys, early last fall, late last summer. So you're only 250 once. This is a big deal, older than our country. So we're excited. I love it that everybody gets to come out and see all of our equipment. I'm most excited that everybody gets an opportunity to meet all of our soldiers that are here. Yesterday we were out, visiting, with all of our troopers, and 95% of them probably have never been to DC. So it was neat that they get this experience and get to come in. They've been running around the mall, hanging out. I think the only complaint I got was somebody spent $15 on a beer.
Yeah.
That was right. Yeah, that was pretty steep.
You get the full DC experience. You get to see the the beautiful landmarks, the historic buildings. You get stabbed in Uptown. It's a great time.
Yeah, well, I hope that none of that happens. So they're also, it was interesting talking to the people that are going to be driving Bradleys and tanks and, all of that. I mean, they were so fired up. It was just, I love watching them get everything ready. And, they were talking about telling their families back home that they're going to be on there. There's a lot of families that are coming, from folks that aren't too far away. One soldier said he's from Pennsylvania. His whole family's coming down, and going to be along the parade route. So it's really neat. We're excited.
That is awesome.
No, that's why we were kind of late. We were stopping at every helicopter and tank and every gun we saw. We were like, ooh, just little boys.
It's neat having that out here. We kind of take it for granted. We're around it. You guys have been around it, so you know it. You can walk by and know what it is. But a lot of people don't get to see, some of this stuff up front. But I always tell everybody, look at the equipment, and then when they normally, talk to our troopers, that's when, I think that they realize, This could be a great team to join. So I think it's great that we're doing this here, right in our nation's capital.
General George, we ran into some really cool soldiers over there. Brandon got the coolest thing.
I haven't showed you guys this yet either, but one of the armories, they handed me the probably coolest challenge coin I've ever seen, which is a flattened mini ball, like a musket ball,
That's cool. Yeah.
that they pound their company logo into.
That's awesome.
That is
which is
really cool.
Rad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
As far as challenge coins go, I'm like, that one's pretty
That's pretty
unique.
cool.
That's up there. That's up there.
So
I don't know. I got a General
I have a
George
question
challenge.
about your house. I mean, the Joint Chiefs house is you're basically living in a museum.
Living in a museum.
Functionally, it's like, if you don't know, it's like the White House, but for your job.
It's not quite the White House.
Well,
yeah, it's
you know what I
but
mean, though.
it's-
Like,
yeah. It's a
when
nice
you move
house.
out, when you
Yep.
leave this position,
Yep.
and the next guy moves in, and
Yep.
everybody's lived in that same house. It's very
Yep.
historic. They've got all the pictures on the wall.
Yeah.
What was like the oh shit moment when you were moving in, when you realized like what a big deal that was, looking at all the other legends and enormous names
Yeah, I mean,
all
I
over
think
that house?
when I go in and there's, you turn right and there's a picture of General Eisenhower,
Yeah.
former President Eisenhower, General Pershing. I mean, I could go down the list. Omar Bradley, General Marshall. There's a Marshall room. So I think, Patty and I, my wife, have a lot of conversations on that. I just think it reminds you that, that you got a job to do and, stay focused on it and making sure we're doing everything we can to take care of the Army and make sure we're transforming for the future. So we love that old house. I will tell you, the heating and the cooling, it's like
Yeah.
a little bit, that's the only thing about an old house, but it's a unique experience and I'm grateful for it.
That's cool. While we have you, can you tell us your favorite story of your favorite general on the wall and why they called him that?
Okay, my favorite general.
Yes.
All right, Nick knows the answer to
I
this.
do, so I'm gonna let you tell it.
So and I've hung it. Right in that
Oh,
one hallway where everybody can see it. It's of Matthew Ridgway. He commanded the 82nd Airborne in the jump in World War II. His nickname by his troops was Old Iron Tits. So that was his nickname. So I don't know how many of them called him that to his face, but that was his nickname, Old Iron Tits. And he was called Old Iron Tits because he had 2 hand grenades on his load-bearing equipment, and he always wore. So I mean, I've got pictures of him where he's in the hospital visiting his wounded troopers, and he's leaning over and talking to him. There's 2 hand grenades hanging from his
Man's prepared. You never
from
know.
his uniform. He was always ready. So
Keep that thing on you, as the kids say.
right.
Yeah.
I wonder how he felt
They've got
about that
a bag of
nickname.
Yeah, I'm sure he knew, stuff like that. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Man, I don't know how to follow that one up. I'm just
yeah. Old Iron.
I just can't even.
Old Iron
pay
Tits.
up. Oh
Old
my
Iron Tits
God.
is tough to beat. Yeah,
It is. It is. What do you have any nicknames? Did the troops, any of your soldiers, give you any nicknames throughout your career?
That you know about?
Not that I know about. I'm sure I got plenty, but not that I know about.
I'll work on it.
All right, you guys let me know. We'll
right.
find something out.
I'll put it
I'm
out on the
sure,
internet.
I'm
It'll
sure
be a
there's
thing.
something. Yeah.
If we
I
can't
don't
find
know
one,
if I
we'll-
want it to be a thing, but
If we can't find one, we'll start one.
Yeah.
Let's find one.
I didn't even realize you had a star.
yeah,
You were in
173rd.
No,
He's
up
got
north,
4 of
yeah.
them. He's a general. What are you talking
no
about?
no on the CIB.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
No, I didn't realize he had that. He had 2.
been in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, you're the only. I usually am the old one in the group because I was born in 1985. So you predate when I. Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough.
And you're still at it though,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And you used to love running the most. I know Romesha hated that about you. He
Yeah.
said you loved
I used
long
to
distance
love
running.
Yeah, I used to love running. I don't do as much running as I used to, so now I'm more into lifting and doing other body weight exercises. But
You're like,
yeah,
I can do this.
Clint Romesha is fit, so he never had any issue.
Nah, but
So-
he has a little more fun and leisure now. He
We'll
likes
have to drag
relax.
him back out here.
Oh,
We have
100.
to bring him back out here.
He wanted.
I was just
come.
gonna say, I'm like, the guy earned it. He deserves it at this
Yeah,
point.
he
You're like,
does.
nah, get his ass back in the field.
Get that haircut going. You'd be like, any message to anyone that wants to join or soldiers that are actually active right now?
Yeah, I mean, I would, to all of our troopers out there, everybody who's serving, I would just say how proud I am of all of them. You know, what they're doing around the world. We always talk about the most important thing in our Army is our people. I mean, that really is. Everybody gets really fixated on equipment or technology. And right now we're going through a significant transformation, and all that's being led from the bottom up. It's our soldiers that are out there helping us to figure out how we should move forward. And they are just innovative, gritty, and tough. And so I would thank all of them. And then for everybody else, I think whether you don't have to come in and stay 40 years like I did, but I do, and I think you guys know this. I think the Army is a great place to start. You can do anything in the Army. And what you are I think everybody that I've talked to, even you just spent a couple of years, the teammates you meet, the experiences that you have, the people you get to know, that'll last you the rest of your life. And that's been my experience with everybody that I've interacted with in the Army. So
It really creates a unique experience and a brotherhood and a bond that you will not get anywhere else.
Yeah, it's unique. It's unique. I agree with that.
And
I appreciate you guys being here.
No, dude,
we have a great time.
A whole bunch.
Appreciate your time. It's been an
We'll
honor.
have another gathering. So another time that somebody can get you guys a drink or two.
Sounds good.
So